In this final video, we'll be adding the mount points, the mount triggers and the mountable script to each animal, and also we'll be working with different settings for each creature. Now, first up, the Rhino. Let's set the rider as the target of the free look camera. Now go to the project window and search for mount points. Clean the search and drag the mount points to the scene. Set the mount points as the child of the center bone spine of the animal. Reset the position values and move the mount points upwards until you find a good position for the rider to mount. Now add the mount triggers, which are in the same path that the mount points, and make it child of the animal. Again, reset the position and move it on the Z-axis to find a good spot. You can keep adjusting the mount points until you are satisfied with the result. Next step, select the animal root transform and add the mountable component. Open the link tab and fill all the reference with the mount points. Select straight spine. This parameter is used so the riding animations that were meant to be for the horse can work for other animals. Now let's hit play. If we move the rider, the Rhino also moves. That is because we need to deactivate the malware's input on the animal. And doing that, we can try and mount the animal. To fix the fit positions of the rider while it's mounting, we can do it while playing. That way we can put it in the place we want, and then we copy the transform values, stop the play mode and paste the value back. We will do the same for all the mount points. We will fix the position and rotation on play mode, then copy the transform values, stop the play mode and paste the value back. Now, once you have mount, if you look closely, you will see that the rider is making funny movement. That is because the riding animations and the animal animations are not in sync. We can fix this by going to the mountable component and enabling debug sync. That way we can see how apart are the animations. You'll see two spheres that will change from red to white every time an animation is finished, one for the rider and one for the animal. So we need to modify the speed on the riding animations. For now, this is a process of try and error, so you will keep modifying the speed until the two spheres are in sync, and that you will do it for the walk, the trot and the run animations. If you have swim and fly animations on your animal, you'll sync those values too. After some try and errors, I got the values I wanted, but if you keep in mind, I was still on playing mode, so I copied the value of the mountable component, stopped the play and pasted it back. Now, in the case that you are using the camera rig that I provide, you can set some camera states to change the view while mounting, using the Unity events of the mountable component. Okay, now search for the asset and free look camera and drag it into the unmounted event. Search for free look camera manager, set mounted target and drag the animal to that field. Add a new event and then drag the free look camera asset again, and this time search for set mounted state. Now let's create a camera state. I'm gonna create it on the asset folder. Right click, create malware's animation, camera, free look camera state. I'll name the state to Rhino state, and I will set the FOV of the camera to 60 and on the camera position to 0.3, 1 and -6. Now going back to the animal and to the mountable component, we set the state on the second event. So if we hit play now, we can see that the camera changed to a wider angle while mounted. If we try the weapons, we can see that the weapons have their own camera states, and when the aim stops, it goes back to the mounting state. and if we dismount, the camera goes back to the default state. These are the main steps to make any animal mountable, so I will repeat the same step to all the other animals. Now when I finish with the ostrich, I try to mount, and the mount and dismount animation looked like that. That is because when we first import the animal was really small and we have to scale it up 3 times its size. To solve that problem, we need to create a modifier for the mount triggers. So let's create it on the asset folder. On the create menu, select Malware's animation, anim transform. Give this asset a proper name like Ostrich Mount Fixed. Now on the mount triggers, there's a parameter called adjustment. So let's drag the Ostrich Mount Fixed to the adjustment field. The anim transform has 2 float fields. The first one is for the scale of the mount animation and the second one is for the scale of the dismount animation. Setting a value of 0.3 for the mount and dismount animation worked for the ostrich. And that's how you fix the scale for the mount and dismount animations. In the case of the elephant, since it was so big, I decided to use just 2 mount triggers. I deleted the left, back and right mount triggers. Now we encounter 2 problems. The first one is the scale of the mount and dismount animation, and the second one is that mount animation doesn't work that well with the elephant. So the first thing we need to do is to find all the mount animations. Select the rider and on his animator you will find the mount layer. Open the mount substate machine. In there you will find all the mount animations the rider has. So in order to change an animation on a mount trigger, you just need to copy the name and paste it on the mount trigger mount animation parameter. And to change a dismount animation, you need to open the substate machine dismount, and on the transition for each animation, find the mount side value on the condition transition, and use that value on the mount trigger dismount ID. If we test it again, we can see that the animations for that mount trigger has been changed. Now let's fix the scale of the animations. So I will go again to the create menu, Malware's animations, anim transform. I'll give it a proper name and set it as adjustment for the mount trigger. Setting a value of 0.6 on both floats did the work, but I still wasn't happy with the result. So what we can do is to modify the animation a bit more. We can use the position of the anim transform to make the rider arrive quicker to the mount point. Using the position curves, you can use the general curve or the separated axis curves. In this case I will use the separated ones. Just for show, if I set all the values of the curve to 1, the animation will look like this. So what I mean is that you can use these position curves to change the rider's position while he is playing a mount animation. And also you can use the rotation curve to align the rider to the mount point while he is playing the mount animation. You can keep adjusting the curves until you find the right spot. And that, my friends, is the final step to make any animal from the store mountable with Horse Animset Pro. If you want to learn more about mount triggers, you can check the documentation below. And if you have any questions or doubt, please don't hesitate to contact me through the forums or through the chat of the Malware's animation page. All the remaining animals didn't need any unique requirements, so I went and did the same process for all of them. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you understood me. So see you on the next time.